Introducing Larry Starks, the Tucson Juneteenth Festival, Executive Director and Tucson Omega Sci-Fi President, to talk about Juneteenth basics.
So like I said, here I can give you a Cliff's Note version, but with the amount of time that I have, hopefully it will engage other conversations. So everyone, well, not everyone, but the Emancipation Proclamation was written in 1863 by Lincoln, but the words read, freeing slaves in the southern states. A lot of people don't understand that. It said it's going to free the slaves in the southern states. So in being in Texas, what their thought process is, we're not going to abide by these orders. There was a lot of southern states that said, we're not going to abide by these orders. We're going to keep these people enslaved. So after Lincoln was assassinated, it still had to happen that the emancipation had to be followed. So the troops found out that there were still people being held in southern states as slaves. So General Gordon Granger took it upon himself and took upon about 2,000 or 3,000 soldiers, including a lot of black soldiers, to go and free these enslaved people. Texas just happened to be the last state that they encountered. But here's the thing about going to Texas. Those last slaves, or I'm going to call them free people because they weren't slaves. They were actually free people who were being enslaved. So Galveston, Texas is on an island. What people don't know is that there were slave owners from Louisiana and some other southern states who actually tracked their slaves to Galveston to hold them there so that they would not be free. Right. So these troops had to travel these thousands of miles. And then when they get to Galveston, it's like, well, dang, it's on an island. How do we get there? They got to get on boats. They can't just get their horses and ride across the water. So they had to strategically get there. And what people also don't understand is there were small wars. They had to have wars to free these people. That's the important part, is that the slave owners in Texas said, you know what, we're not going to. But the United States government said, you know what, yes, you are. We're going here and we're going to free these people because you are in violation of the law. That's when Gordon Granger got on the boat, got across to Galveston. There was over 250,000 people still being enslaved in Galveston, Texas. They had to kill, put it in short, kill some of the slave owners to say, no, you're going to free these people. And that's what happened in short notes. There's a lot of other things, like I said, I can get into, but the real thing is this, think about it. After these people were freed, after they were freed and off this island, they got together and said, you know what, we're going to go branch out. We're not held anymore. Some of them even stayed. You know why they offered them? The slave owner said, well, you can stay here. You don't have anywhere else to go. You can just stay here and work for free. Well, been doing that for hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. Some of them decided to stay. Others left. And they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to branch out in a year. We're going to come together and see where everybody's at and what you're doing. And within that year, when they came back together, they put on their best clothes. They had on suits, ties, and they ate food. Reason why we have the big food thing is because they ate food that they couldn't normally eat. They ate the best parts of the pig, the best parts of the cow. They drink a drink that they couldn't normally drink, which is we call it red Kool-Aid, but they normally just drink water. So they celebrated in things they couldn't do. The reason they wore their Sunday best clothes is they couldn't do that even sometimes at funerals. The only way they could do that is when they was going into the master's house. So they put on their best clothes to come back to celebrate. Now, if you're in prison for 2 years and someone say, oh, well, you shouldn't have been here for these 2 years. You were supposed to go. I'm going to be mad as hell. And those telling what I'm going to do. I'm probably not going to have a barbecue. I'm probably not going to, but they came back together to celebrate. And that's why we celebrate with them, that they came back and said, hey, we're free. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. That's the main issue of the celebration. But again, there's so many more nuances that go into that with the government, with the troops, with the slave owners. Again, these people were tracked out, walked thousands of miles, put on boats, and taken to Galveston, Texas. They just didn't happen to be in Galveston. They were taken there, stolen and taken there. That's what that's the part that like hurts me. Is like, man, it was so bad that y'all wanted to take these people from their homes and still keep them enslaved. That, again, that's the Cliff's Note version, and hopefully it'll garner some more stuff. That's kind of where we started at. But it wasn't this misnomer like people say, well, what's Juneteenth? Oh, it's the day that the last slaves found out they were free. No, that's not it.